Only 15 to 20% companies are actually not just experimenting, but executing real projects. What do you think people perceive as technology today, and where do you think things are going wrong?
Most people just think the AI is just a tool. However, we are now moving into agentic AI. It is not just about writing something on ChatGPT. It is not just asking some question to Claude. The AI is just built into your computer and just connect to your Excel and Word. That is what agentic AI actually does.
I'm joined by Minkyu, the CEO of Divii Consulting, someone who has closely worked at the intersection of technology, systems, and real-world problem solving, building for companies in South Korea and working with teams across India. We are moving from a world of tools to systems to intelligence that acts, but most people don't really understand where we really are. So welcome back to Build with Shreya, where ideas and stories inspire you to build something extraordinary. So today, I'm joined by Minkyu, the CEO of Divii Consulting, someone who has closely worked at the intersection of technology, systems, and real-world problem solving, building for companies in South Korea and working with teams across India. So in today's episode, we're exploring a bigger question. Are we building tools or are we building systems that define how decisions are made and how that plays out in ecosystems like South Korea and India? If you are somebody who is building, leading, or are trying to understand where technology is headed in a cross-cultural intersection, please make sure to like our channel, subscribe, or hit the bell icon to stay connected with us. We're so happy to have you on our podcast today, Minkyu, and let's see what we can bring to our audience today through our conversation.
Hi, Shreya. It's nice to be here.
Awesome. So, I'm curious. We see everybody talking about AI, automation, innovation. We do not see a lot of it getting operationalized. Only 15 to 20% companies are actually not just experimenting, but executing real projects. So, if you just zoom out, what do you think people perceive as technology today, and where do you think things are going wrong?
Most people just think the AI is just a tool. However, we are now moving into agentic AI.
Correct.
The AI that work and make decisions.
Autonomously, yeah.
Right. And many companies just apply the AI on top of what they are really doing. However, they should actually replace the entire workflow.
Right.
Right.
So basically, they're just using it as a fix, but not really transforming the processes,
Right.
From the core.
Right.
Okay.
So nowadays, actually, it is not just about writing something on ChatGPT. It is not just asking some question to Claude. It is more like the AI is just built into your computer and just connect to your Excel and Word, and your coding tools, editors. So they built the system. They built Excel sheet slides by itself. That is what agentic AI actually does.
So I think what you mean is that AI is not just a point solution.
Right.
It needs to be systemized, within the processes, within the organization. And so if you've worked with big companies in South Korea, and with the amount of companies sort of experimenting right now with AI, what do you think is stopping them from fully operationalizing AI in a fashion that it becomes a system? Is it the technology decision, or is it the leadership? Like, what is stopping them from taking that leap, towards that transformation?
It is about the leadership, of course. And people hesitate to apply the AI to entire organization only because the way they used to work is department-wise. You have a finance team, marketing team, and technology team. But sometimes when you transform your workflow into an AI, agentic AI workflow, human being can be a bottleneck. You have to transform
the organizational structure.
Right, organizational structure. Plus, you have to put the AI in the middle. Instead of putting to the side, you have to put the AI into the middle, in the center. So instead of talking to people, you have to talk to AI. Let's say you have finance team member. Finance team member should just talk to the AI and the AI remember what the finance team require and deliver it to the marketing team. The marketing team gives the feedback to the AI, and that agentic AI provide another feedback based on marketing team's feedback to the finance team. That is how it should work. But people are using AI in only their desktop or for individual tasks. That is not the agentic AI.
So what you're saying is that AI needs to interface departments. It needs to bring the organization together as a communication method, and that's how we sort of go about systemizing the use of agentic AI across the organization, and that's where it gives more confidence to the leadership to also take the leap and move from there.
Right, exactly. Okay. Yes.
So a lot of reports suggest that 70% of the companies are experimenting with AI, but only 20% of them are actually seeing some measurable business outcomes. So, when you're evaluating solutions, when you're experimenting with solutions and moving to implementation, actual implementation, what signals are you looking for? That, okay, now it is time to move from experimenting to implementing this across the organization.
If the AI just helping people, and if the employee actually just use AI on their desktop, and that is not the AI transformation, they have to put, just like I said before, you have to put AI, agentic AI into the middle. So if your employee talk to AI to report your boss, then your organization is being transformed into the AI. But otherwise, not at that level yet.
So if you could give us an example of how you came across doing such an experiment and making it systemized across an organization, I think that would be really useful.
Let me explain what actually happened in my company. My company adopted Claude as a core communication tool in the middle. We used to use a Slack to send the messages and to send the report, but we don't use it anymore. Unfortunately, actually, we use it as a medium. However, we put the Claude in the middle. So every employee write their report or feedback to the Claude, and the Claude translate it into a report, and then post it on the Notion and Slack message. And let's say your boss read your report or message from the Slack and then reply by using Claude. So everybody just keep giving the messages to the Claude, and Claude sends a report, sends the message. At the same time, they store and save the important data into the database. So Claude sitting in the middle, but it handles almost every communication. At the same time, it checks the progress of the work, etc. Right.
Also, Minkyu, like you evaluate so many solutions around you. You're well exposed with what is getting built in South Korea, in India, right? So, what are the kind of solutions that really catch your eye? That these are worth implementing. These could be introduced to clients. So, what are the signals in products that you are able to say, okay, this is it. This is something that is would be the future.
In terms of the product, right? Yeah, actually, I have seen some of the product available in Korea and India market. One of the product that catches my eye is AI CRM and ATS. AI CRM is kind of the database that basically interact mostly with the AI. So you connect to your Claude or ChatGPT and talk to talk to the database of the CRM. And the CRM does all the automation by itself. You can write, you can read, you can get how to target, you can plan, even execute whatever you have in your mind using only AI. And ATS also the same. When you hire somebody, you can just talk to the AI instead of just writing everything into your SaaS. You just talk to the AI, then that transform the message that you wrote in the AI into an executable post, or just it hire people and go step by step, so you can finally hire someone that you are in the pipeline. Yeah.
So, we started, this entire software industry. We started with software that helps, and then systems that, automate. And now we are moving towards intelligent systems that
Yes.
can take decisions on their own.
Right.
The shift is not theoretical anymore, and we can see implementations in credit scoring, fraudulent detections, supply chain optimizations, even hiring.
Right.
And sometimes humans are basically just validating the outputs of such systems. So where do you think the line gets crossed between human and AI, and how do you envision that?
Okay, line gets crossed when humans do not deciding anymore. Human's job has changed into a reviewer. And human review only what AI does. And human gets a report, human gets validation, only human interrupt only for the exception. And for the daily work, human do not disturb. That is,
The line
when
crossed.
the line crossed, right?
And so how do you see balance being restored in the future? And is there any vision that you have that any perception that you would like to share?
The vision of the future should be more like economical shift, not as a company. Of course, not most of the company's job is to optimize the cost and increase the revenue. That is just the nature of the company. And because of that, people will not work as a daily operator, but they will work as an agentic builder. And that kind of job can be taken by only a few people. And the other who are rest will be working for more like a transactional employees or transactional individual contractor to each company. Let's say a company requires a subcontractor, and then many people will just create their own agentic AI that does a job for different clients. In the past, of course, actually, in the past, because of physical limitation, people could not do multiple jobs at the same time. But what if your job is just building agentic AI for yourself? Then you can be hired by 10 different companies, maybe 100 different companies. So people's job will be more like subcontractor of certain jobs instead of being hired by a certain company.
That's a very unique way to look at it, I mean, I could totally envision, right now, if I have to be at 10 places, but I cannot. But then I built my agent or an agentic AI, which can replicate a few of the decisions that I can take. And so probably I can, or my agent can be as a proxy to me in multiple areas. And as you said, that, you could subcontract that to come. Okay, no, that's a very
the transaction of the entire economy will probably go really rapid, and then we'll see. Actually, I have also imagination of that. But, I didn't see
No,
that.
of course. I mean, at this point, we really don't know what will happen. But I wanted you to share what is your perception, what you think, and then, of course, there are different ways to look at it.
Right.
So do you think companies are really aware of this shift and they're taking steps towards adopting that shift?
Actually, I don't think companies are aware of what's going on. The most of companies do have almost no idea, to be honest, because it is now, like I said, it is not about using ChatGPT. It is just transforming the entire organization into AI-based. And if the AI doesn't do the job end to end, your company is not adapting what actually AI can do.
Correct.
Right.
So right now it seems like every conversation is about product. It sort of comes back to AI, but a lot of it is not real. It is like a lot of noise. I mean, you have heard of so many AI products, but then you must be going and you must be saying, okay, it's not really creating a real value. It's just riding a wave. So when you are looking at AI products today, what signals you that this is a genuine AI product that will make a difference versus something that's just riding a wave or is a wrapper, or there are 10 other things around it that it would be competing with? So what are those signals?
There's a lot of product already out there. And the way to identify whether it is genuine AI or other kind of stuff, which is if you remove the AI feature from that product, if that still works, then it is not the AI product. But if that product doesn't work only because you put out the AI feature from it, then it is genuine AI product. I believe there's some AI product out there already, but which is not popular yet. Yeah, that's my answer.
No, I think that's a really good way to put it. I never thought that you could look at it this way, and it makes sense because a lot of products that were built earlier, they're sort of building an AI layer, but they're not AI first products.
Right.
They're like SaaS, and then they're moving towards adopting AI.
Right.
So I think it becomes very important to distinguish between SaaS plus AI versus AI first.
Right.
So if you look at the digital transformation projects today, 70% of them actually fail to deliver the kind of ROI they were meant to deliver. So where do you see is the biggest mismatch between what companies are building versus what the market needs? And we are sort of in a space where we believe in building fast, scaling fast, failing fast. But if you actually go down to implementation, things are slow, they are complex. And so if somebody was starting to build today, starting to digitally transform today, what would you recommend them? How to go about it?
There are a lot of tools already. But the problem is those are not replacing the human work. It just give you more job, like writing something on the top SaaS and adding some prompt to it to work. But what actually people need is, it should replace the entire job, like from end to end. The new agentic AI should replace the entire workflow. Let's say some certain job takes like several weeks. It should start from the beginning and finish to the end. And maybe there should be a human in the loop. Human can verify in the middle for some operation. However, the agentic AI that people actually want, and I believe the market wants, will be the one that actually finish the job to end.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense because, it makes the entire process efficient. So something that took time takes less time.
Right.
Something that had certain errors because maybe human errors actually gets much better because there are no errors in the process now. And worse, and there's also a human in the loop. So it's getting double verified that, that their eyes just look at it. So, and if you look at ROI, ultimately it comes down to efficiency. So if we see an end-to-end implementation of agentic AI, there would be efficiency gains that would translate into ROI for the organization. So that was a really good perspective to bring out there.
Right. Okay. I wouldn't build traditional SaaS products. I created educational SaaS product in the past. But selling SaaS to the market is not about selling the product. It is about the value chain. It is about the contract. Right now, I'm more focused on a platform where you can connect the capability from the market to the demand. And the new product that I'm building is Surfing Bear. You will see next month.
Awesome. We're looking forward to see that and see how that rolls out. Okay. So you've built teams in India while delivering for companies in South Korea. So it's interesting because it's cross-cultural execution at scale. So what is one key difference that you have seen between how Korean versus Indian teams operate and that people should know when they work together?
Right. Korean team as a culture try to be more polite. But Indian teams speak more and they express their opinion really strongly sometimes. And that sometimes create a conflict between Korean team and Indian team. However, I believe only because Indian team expressed their opinion strongly from CEO perspective, it was much easier to control because they know what to do and what's coming next. But in case of a Korean team member, they speak less and try to follow and try to listen more, and they require more energy as a CEO because I have to give them more detailed directions. Indian teams are sometimes more independent. Of course, it differs by person. So I'm not.
Absolutely, I'm
Right.
sure. I mean, even though you can identify certain patterns
Right.
in how people in both the countries work, but I'm sure person to person it's very different. So there has been an increasing focus by the government to improve the Indo-Korean collaboration, especially in the tech space, like the recent MOU for MSME cooperation that has come up. So, do you think such programs help in improving the business outcomes for both the countries, and how if you've seen in the past?
Right. The visibility of India in Korea is not vibrant yet, but if the government moves that direction, then people try to understand India as a market better. And India is a huge market, of course, for many Korean people. But they didn't even try to explore. But if the government supports it, I believe many Korean companies will try to come and penetrate the market. And from Indian company side, B2B market in Korea is quite huge. So company in Korea in B2B market spends quite a lot. So if you target the right market with the right product in Korea and try to gain the trust, then I believe you guys can do better and flourish. And I believe government-led meetings and introduction will definitely help because it gains more attentions in Korean market, especially. I don't know about how the media covers about Korean president visiting India, but at least in Korea, it covers enough.
No, here as well. I think it was on the front page, and there were like good meeting minutes that people can look at what are the next steps and what are the companies, what initiatives they have. So it has been covered very well.
Okay.
In fact, I remember taking a tour down the Central Delhi while the president was visiting, and there were so many flags that were there, and there were different posters and the roundabouts that were there in the Central Delhi. So it was very much visible to everyone, and that's why I think such initiatives are necessary, definitely for cross-cultural collaboration. If you were to talk about why a Korean company should work with Indian company, what is it that you would tell them? Vice versa, if you were to tell an Indian company to work with a Korean company, what would you tell them? I think we would like to know from your perspective, since you work so closely with both the countries.
Right. For Korean company, I believe they can find better and more engineers in India, and that is proven already. So if they can explore the engineers in Indian market and explore engineering company in Indian market, I believe they can have more options to build their own system and products. And for Indian company, they can come to Korea and target B2B market. Of course, the B2B market I already said in the past answer, but still B2B market in Korea is quite it's not really complicated. B2B market in Korea is not that complicated. You can just go straight forward and express your intention, then they will try to answer, because Korean economy and Korean company needs the new, fresh product that are not built in Korea. And especially AI product, if you have a good AI product, I believe in Korea, we do not have enough AI product that covers the needs for the AI market. But the demand for AI in Korea, even compared to any other country, is one of the highest in the world. So just please come to Korean market, then you will see a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's where we are, and with the current visit of the president that happened, I think it definitely motivates us to discover the market in a different way and look at it from a business angle as well. So from what I understand about the Korean organizations, they highly value quality, timelines, and execution above many other things. So as per your perception, what do Korean companies look for in a product or a tech partner that they work with?
The speed matter actually, and also timeline is one of the most important part. And no matter what, you have to deliver something on time. even let's say even if there's a lot of bug, you have to show something. So based on that, you can just build your communication, how to solve the problem, how you're gonna fix the bug, how you're gonna do whatever that requires.
Like
to
have
make
a
it better.
roadmap.
Right.
Have a plan.
Have a plan, and it should be punctual on time. I mean, time matters. And in some cases, actually, actually in Korea, it's not a good culture though. Korean developers just stay overnight and just sometimes they just work over the weekend to finish in timeline. But I believe it's not super usual in Indian market. So that sometimes create, unnecessary conflict. But if you work with a Korean company, just please keep the timeline. The second, maybe clear communication. They just want to get reported every day about the status. If something goes bad, don't wait until the last minute, of course.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So as long as you keep this kind of clear communication and timeline, then that would be really, fine for all of Indian companies. Yes.
So I find it very interesting how innovation shows differently in different countries. Sometimes it's more system driven, sometimes it's more adaptive. And while you've been looking at these innovative concepts in Korea as well as India, what were the most interesting product ideas or technology solutions that caught your eye? And I would like to understand how the Indian solutions were different from the South Korean solutions.
Right. In case of Korea, because the market is not that super big, it is quite usual to put many different business models into one product. So we have a TOS, which is a financial service app. It has a security app. It has insurance. It has banking, and all other different types, like even game inside. So that is very unique, but at the same time, as a user, I feel very convenient.
It's a super
using
app.
it, right? It's a kind of super app, right? And in case of India, I like Paytm. In Korea, it's quite unfortunate that the QR code paying system is not that normal. But for some reason, Paytm got so popular among Indian people. Nowadays, you can just go small shop and just use Paytm without even having credit card or whatever. In the past, actually, as a foreigner, was really hard because I have to bring the cash all the time. And sometimes, some restaurant didn't accept the international credit card. But with the Paytm, I can pay anytime I want. So Paytm is one of the most innovative. That doesn't actually exist in Korea. And maybe TOS, maybe if you guys do the research, then you will find out TOS is a very innovative company in Korea too, as a super app.
So if we fast forward 10 years, the difference would not just be having better tools. It will be a completely different way of making decisions. So if I were to sort of ask you to leap 10 years in your vision right now, what do you think would be normal that time, which is not normal now?
Daily operation of human being would be totally removed because human's job is not anymore working every day. It should be more like imagining or architecting or think about the future. And maybe they will just talk like a poet. And then the AI will translate into maybe better system, better automation, better maybe song and movie. So I believe you will not work as a daily operator in any sector, even if you are a farmer, an office worker, programmer, of course. And your job will be mainly come up with a new idea, plus maybe financing. I believe because there should be someone who take a responsibility for the financial outcome, whether it is loss or profit. So from that perspective, you will probably still responsible for the outcome. Other than that, daily operation will be totally removed.
Yeah, I think while speaking with you, I had a vision that whatever daily operations we do right now is basis of a combination of what we've learned so far, which is historical data, plus what we think could be in the future. And so that's how we operate. So I think the part of the job where we were relying on our past experience would be not there anymore, but we would more be the future builders,
Right.
the orchestrators of new things,
Right.
new ideas,
Right.
with which, of course, the systems will also get better, but then we're always sort of thinking ahead.
Right.
So
Right.
I think that's what I understood.
Yeah, I believe the most of the people will be more like a philosopher.
So if somebody was entering the tech space today, what, according to you, they should focus on early so that they don't spend years figuring it out?
If you're a tech founder, of course, the sales. Okay, you have to connect yourself to another company, another professional, maybe financing, selling or marketing, etc. You require a lot of new stuff that you didn't do when you built your product.
Right.
But right after you finish your product, you have to just go outside and talk to people. Just like this, actually, you can have a meeting with an influencer like you. You can go outside and talk to the investor. Not just one investor. There should be several investors and business partner. Who knows? You never know who's going to help you. So you just talk to many people and spread your word. Then at least you can increase your percentage and possibility and chance of being successful.
Yeah, I think I would translate that into like getting an early buy-in into the concept. Whether it's from an investor, whether it is from a potential customer who you do your first pilot with. So having those ecosystems in place would ensure that you would be heading towards a significantly better direction than just starting saying, okay, like I have this idea, I'm just going to build it out without validating whether anybody would have a buy-in or belief in investing in the product, or which result in real sales or marketing the product out there.
Right. Actually, in addition to that, with the AI, you can talk to AI and you can communicate with the AI to come up with a better message to your investor and even PR, because nowadays it's much easier to find the message out of AI. So I believe now if I just come back to the past, I would just maximize AI use and talk to, maybe send a message like emails, like thousands email every day. Right.
So if somebody is entering the Korea market, what do you think would be the biggest barrier to working in South Korea or working with South Korean companies? What would be the biggest barriers for an Indian, let's say, person or company?
Right. To be honest, actually, I have seen quite many tech companies failing in Korea because you have to understand the culture. Of course, many Korean people should understand Indian culture to penetrate, but the same. Indian people should understand Korean culture, but Korean culture is quite unique. You cannot just study outside. You have to go and see how people behave. That is quite different from what Indian actually do in India. So please just go out and see the people and communicate, and then try to find a good partner, maybe like us.
Absolutely.
Right. because it is not easy for you to overcome the difference between India and Korea as in culture. But if you can find the right bridge to the Korean market, then everything can be faster. But if you just penetrate everything by yourself, it could take longer than you actually plan. So please just find the right partner at the right moment.
Perfect. No, that's a really good advice. And so now we are going to move towards our rapid fire round. So it's like quick questions and quick answers.
Right.
So one word, according to you, that best describes where technology is today.
Replacing human work.
AI is, as per you, overhyped, underhyped, or misunderstood?
Misunderstood.
One thing founders are over-optimizing right now.
Speed.
One skill that will matter less in the next 5 years.
Like I said, daily operation will just disappear.
A product that you think is genuinely ahead of its time.
Cloud code.
Something in tech that sounds smart but is not really useful.
Overbuilt SaaS product.
One belief about technology that you completely disagree with.
AI will assist the human.
If you had to bet your next 10 years on one space, what would it be?
Agentic AI system.
So with that, Minkyu, we've come to the end of a podcast, and we've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation today.
Me too.
And we've got such new perspective on the Indian and South Korean collaboration, as well as how tech products can be seen right now, as well as in the future. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So we have come to the end of a podcast for today with Minkyu, and we learned so much around the Indo-Korean collaboration, as well as the entire perception around technology in both the countries and as well as globally, and how it is supposed to be shaped in the future. So while we build our next podcast, you keep looking at different AI tools, exploring the smart solutions out there, and hopefully I'll see you next time.